Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today I have the Laphroaig 15 years is coming back. And unfortunately I don't have that in the Whisky.com shop in the United States, although we do have it in the Netherlands and Belgium. If it enters into the United States, not quite sure. But we're in a situation where there's a bit of a demand slump here in Europe and probably also a little bit around the world. And that means we don't sell as much whiskey. We can also see that. But that means the warehouses don't empty as fast and they get a constant supply of new make spirit from the distilleries. Although in Laphroaig's case, they actually got an increase in supply as they have expanded their fermentation. And I think they are due to also another expansion. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's postponed. But they produce more Laphroaig and less Laphroaig is being bought. So the warehouses get fuller. The warehouses get more older stock. And that's when distilleries are bringing back old bottlings. They crossed out due to warehouse shortages, and this was really a victim of warehouse shortages back in the day, and now they're bringing it back because the shortage is over. The 15 is right in the middle at Laphroaig. I can still remember the days at Laphroaig when I did my distillery video, and I think it was 2015. I aired it in 2016. And we had these really the young ones. They were rough and marine and very smoky, and they were really a bit over the top, I would say. Their motto is love it or hate it, and for me it was I was more on the hated side for the younger ones, but the older ones were really good. They had the edges cut off and still that marine flavor, but not as rough and tumble as the younger ones. Later I really found out that rough and tumble is also, I do like it. I grew into it, and now we're seeing something. I feel that the Laphroaig, it's not quite the 18 and older, but it's not the 10 or the Select or anything below that. So also it's not charged with like casks and casks. This is ex-bourbon from American oak, not chill filtered, 46%. So it's a lot more close to the the distillery character than most of the distilleries. It really has that marine flavor. It really feels like a Laphroaig. Laphroaig is that one distillery that I would say I couldn't imagine how you miss that in a blind tasting. Laphroaig has such a very distinct distillery character. It's so marine flavored, smoky, medicinal. It just feels Islay on a drizzly, rainy day where you walk with your dog on the beach. I don't have a dog, I don't have a beach, so that's how I imagine how that feels like or tastes like near a bonfire. That's when you and has a bit of a seaweed taste, a little bit of a citrus note, a little bit fresh with herbs. 46%. Massive in taste, really smoky. You don't have that much ppm in there in the Laphroaig. They are not extraordinary with the ppm, but in terms of the ppm is always measured when you have the intake of the malt. And I think the Laphroaig distillery is really rough in distilling, so they distill really fast. They get a lot of these flavors, these sulfury flavors that make up the marine flavors and the phenolic flavors, and also the smoky flavors. And it's really smoky marine seaweed, a little bit of a fruity touch to it, which should increase in the next over the next, let's say, decade, because the distillery has their their fermentation time has been increased, so that's what gives you a little bit more of a fruitier touch to it. I think they changed that like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 years ago. So yeah, it should still take a decade until we find it in the 10-year-old, and 1.5 decades until we find it in the 15-year-old. And this is really a nice middle point in the Laphroaig range, where you have the old and yeah, a little more adjusted, mature whiskies, and you have the younger ones, select rough and tumble or 10-year-old, and they are really Laphroaig, tough, marine flavored. And this here is, I would say, the best of both worlds. It still has that Laphroaig touch to it, that hefty. It doesn't take the edges off that much, but it has also that maturity. You feel that it's far away from a alcoholic or metallic youth. It's really, you feel the 15 years, although it's still very rough and tumble on the first tongue. Yeah, so have a look at Whisky.com if you come from Netherlands, Belgium, or Switzerland. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.